top of my heat. Got a little loose coming out of 3. Got it all beat up and straightened out. The boys tell me that we're ready to run now. That's a damn good thing, 'cause that green flag's waving and I'm on the gas. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn a wrench. It's the only way I can afford to fill it up again, tear it up again. It's the only way I'm ever gonna learn. One more left turn.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our 10th edition of the Inside Line. Rob, we made it through 9 shows, or 9.5, kind of, without Ryan. So here we are. We'll give it a shout out on round number 10 here of Inside Line, presented by our friends at Dirt Track Bank. How you been, Rob?
Hey, great. It's been a good couple weeks. A lot of stuff getting done. We're that much closer to race season. I mean, we're almost upon it. And I can't believe Ryan has let us have like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. I don't know if he has confidence in us or he's just trying to stay away. I don't know. But kind of missed the guy, but we're making it work, you know.
Yeah, we're making it work without him somewhat. You know, a few minor details, but he's still with us and doing good. So yeah, we should be at the racetrack last week and now again this week, but you know, 70s today and snow tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get pretty cold at night, and I don't know. This weather's been so hit or miss this year. I don't think winter can just fully leave us here. I think it's probably going to affect the race season at a lot of tracks here for quite a while. We're just not getting consistent weather here, but that's how it goes. But we had going back to last week's show, we had a great show. I was just looking back, and what a fun time we had with Roger Hayden from Eagle Raceway and Dean Kester down in Stockton at Rooks County Fairgrounds Speedway there, and they Brenda and Ricky Kai all the way out of Davenport. So we covered some miles last week, and we had a blast. So I was excited for last week's show for sure.
Yeah, it's fun getting to sit down with all the different promoters at different racetracks and hearing what they have and their ideas. And man, just exciting for 2023 for sure. Tonight we got Ryan's still in February 15th show. We have Trent Chin coming on, Mike Van Genren, and then Delmer Pelster will join us here a little bit later on. So, man, a great lineup of guys here again tonight, Rob.
Well, those 3 guys represent 4 racetracks we're going to this year. 3 of them are brand new. Just like last week, we had 3 racetracks that we had not been to with our Dirt Crown Stock Car Series yet. So, exciting to talk to these guys and let our viewers meet these guys and listen to who they are and talk about their tracks. They all do a great job at their tracks, and they do a lot of tracks, multiple tracks, a couple of the guys. So it's going to be fun for everybody to meet these guys tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Let's not waste any time here. It's 7:04, and we'll bring on the Doctor of Dirt, Mike Van Genren. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hi there. How are we doing?
Good. Mike from Stewart International Speedway. I always love the international part of the name, so I don't ever think of a tractor. I just think of a really big racetrack for some reason.
Yeah, I bought the place 5 years ago, and that was the name of the place when I bought it. So we just kept it that way. And I guess there is a Stewart Raceway in Nebraska, so I guess it separates it a little bit more with the Stewart International.
Mike, you probably had some big names race on it through the years. So international just kind of feeds right into it. Your racing over there is fantastic.
Yeah, we've had, I forget the number of drivers. We're about 500 different drivers race our track every year. And then last year we threw on that, with XR, we threw on that late model show. And we had drivers, we had the best talent I was ever seen for late model drivers at one racetrack, the talent. And if you look at the names that were there, it was just phenomenal talent. And then we have people from all over people want to practice at Stewart, whether from California, Arizona, Nevada. So I've had over 100 people request this year to practice Stewart, like right now. And obviously we can't even get on the place yet, but it takes me 3 hours to get the place ready when it's time to practice. I put my boy on the sheep's foot. The sheep's foot only runs 3 hours a year, and that is for the first race or first practice. We park it for the rest of the season, and we'll have it ready in 3 hours when this weather ever breaks.
That's crazy, and that's something that you kind of started during the COVID days is the practices behind the scenes and really got some of the itch out of some of the guys so they could go to a racetrack and they could make some laps. Do you feel that that's maybe something that still guys are looking for or why they want to come there?
Stewart's just the right size track to practice at. Plus, when I do practice, it's not just set the track up, let it sit, and just let them practice. I'm out there maintaining it every 2-3 sessions and making sure they have a good racetrack when they get on a normal race night. And the cool thing is I met a lot of cool people doing it. When we did it in practice during COVID, you're sitting there with just that group of people. You go hang out with them at the trailer. They go up practice. You can really get to meet the people where when you're promoting a race and you got 100, 150 cars a night, you can't go to every single trailer and talk to everybody, especially when I'm trying to do the track prep, run the show, all that kind of stuff, make sure concessions are good. And that's kind of with most promoters, it's very tough unless you have a right-hand man. And I'm kind of my own right-hand man when it comes to a lot of that. So it was nice to meet people. I mean, I can give you an example. One that stands out was like Isaac Malakote. His first laps he ever took was at the Stewart Speedway, came for practice, and now look what he's doing in the sport mod, now going to modified. So it's just kind of cool to watch those guys develop. My own son, people literally come to Stewart and they will change their lap times a second or more over a 3-4 hour period just by getting that practice in by themselves. Because I don't do really full practices with a bunch of cars. I do it where there's 1 to 2 cars on the racetrack at a time. So they actually get to practice themselves without worrying about somebody hitting them or something like that from behind.
And that's something that's huge for guys that are trying to log laps is they can just focus on their own driving and not have to worry about, not being the pinball or dodging something else.
I mean, we have people come and simulate a 50-lap race like Zach Vanderbeek. He comes about every year. He simulates his feature. So they do lap times of every lap and how the track falls off over a 50-lap race. And obviously you only have 1 car on the racetrack versus 24, but they simulate kind of what they're going to do through the race and how the car affects losing the fuel and things like that. So, we have people simulate long races. Some people do 3 laps. They'll pull in. Charlie McKenna, he's been to my track. I bet he's been there 10 times for practice over the last 2-3 years. And he goes out, simulates something, comes in back in about 3 laps, changes something, goes right back out. It's just something you can't do at a normal practice or even a race night, because you really don't want to do it on a race night because if you're just scared to.
So how many right rear quarter panels has Charlie knocked off at your racetrack?
He's been good during practice. Actually, Charlie let me jump in his car one night. And so I jumped in the car, and I probably had more. I didn't knock a right rear off of it, but I raced his car one night at Stewart, or not raced it, practiced, and that was fun. Got back in the late model. I hadn't been in the late model for many, many years, and had a good time racing the late model around the racetrack.
So not only, Mike Van Genderen, the doctor of dirt, but you've turned countless laps in about every kind of car there is, haven't you, Mike?
Yeah, I've raced Sport Mod one time. I'm 1-0, so I'll never do it again. I raced the B Mod in Memphis, Missouri. Drove Brad Iverson's car. I've raced hobby stock. I've raced a lot of figure 8 many years ago. Stock car, modified. I had a late model in figure 8, believe it or not, many years ago, and raced the late model in figure 8. And then when it came to the fall season, I raced Memphis, Missouri, Independence Motor Speedway. They had an outlaw show. I went up to do that. So I actually got to race with real late models on an oval track. So that was kind of fun.
That's super cool.
Wow. No, hey, Mike, go back to your dirt. You put so much attention to detail just in a practice night. Tell everybody what you do the rest of the year when you're not in Stewart or one of your other tracks that you help promote or work on. You do dirt work for races all around the country pretty much.
Yeah. Obviously, I've done most of the SMI tracks, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Texas Motor Speedway. I've probably been there 15 times, Texas Motor Speedway. I did it for the Lone Star Tour. And I've done it for the XR Series. I've done Vegas the last 3 years. I think it's 3 years. 2-3 years I've done Vegas. And obviously I've done Bristol this will be my 3rd year. I leave in 2 weeks. And I will be doing the late model race at Bristol the week beforehand. And then I get to do the NASCAR trucks, and the NASCAR cars, which that's kind of my award, I guess, for doing what I do. And they've done very well. The tracks have been good. So I'm honored that they let me come back every year and kind of take over the crew for doing the dirt at Bristol. That's a big honor to me. Plus, it's cool to see 20, 30, 40, 50,000 fans around you when you're trying to work a racetrack. It's pretty cool event.
Yeah,
I'd say it's pretty
that's
cool. I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous to not have the track right or something like that. But I think you know dirt enough to know how to do it, and I'm sure you haven't did everything perfect forever, but you're pretty comfortable now through the years of giving everybody a good product. If it's a hobby stock in Iowa or a NASCAR truck in Bristol, Tennessee.
Yeah, you're never gonna get it all right. My goal is to get it right about 89% of the time. That's my goal. Not always going to happen, but I think we've done pretty good. You're not every night's not going to be perfect for every class. So the one thing at Stewart, any racetrack, all classes race different. I don't care if you're a modified stock car or hobby stock. Hobby stocks will be around the rim, and the next race they're around the bottom. It's just the tires, the type of cars. So you have a lot to deal with that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's just kind of every class is different. I think we threw on probably the best modified race I have ever seen from start to finish. Last year for the whole hog was Shyrock, Josh Gilman, and Todd Shute. And I think that's what you guys have up right now, maybe. But that was probably the best modified race I have ever seen anywhere the whole duration. It wasn't the last lap pass. It wasn't anything else. It was 3 wide the whole race between those 3. And it was just absolutely phenomenal. I can say I get goosebumps when I watch and listen to the announcers. We had 2 announcers that night. And Ryan Bergeson and Tony Paris, and they did a great job of calling the action, which makes it even better.
Yeah, anytime you get announcers that get into it, and that just makes the fans that more excited about the racing.
Yep.
The Stewart International Speedway, Mike, we talked, it sounds like it's a really big racetrack. Obviously, we're seeing here it's not huge. What is it technically as far as size-wise?
It's a small quarter, but the weird thing is the gears are the same as Boone. When people come to run, they pretty much run the same gears they run at Boone Speedway. And I've raced Boone and Stewart, and I classify Stewart as way smaller than Boone. But Stewart, the way I've got it banked, and we keep it kind of fast, as you can tell by the video you're seeing. It slicks off, but it is just a fast racetrack to get around the race. And it's very technical. Some people are so good at every other racetrack, and they come to Stewart and they struggle. Stewart is the type of racetrack that will really pull your weaknesses out. And for the last 3 years or whatever, we've had the Super Nationals champions and modifieds come and practice at Stewart, whether it was Ethan Dotson, Cody Laney, these guys, some stock car guys, they came and practiced at Stewart. And they always say, if you're good at Stewart, you can be good anywhere in the nation.
That's an honor in itself right there to you and your crew at Stewart, I would think.
Yeah, it's just a type of racetrack. It's challenging. You're on the wheel all the time. So when you're going down these straightaways at Stewart, it looks like right now when you're watching this video, there's a straightaway. But when you're in the car, there really is no straightaway. You're always turning at Stewart. Your car gets straight, and right away you are turning to the left and getting your car set for the next corner. And the unique thing about Stewart, both corners are way different. Turn 1 is complete opposite of turn 3. So it makes it very, very challenging. Turn 3, you can go in really high. Turn 1, you better be a little careful. It's more flat. And just both corners they're like 2 different racetracks.
That's pretty good character to have that much in a small racetrack like that. But look, cars were entering high, exiting middle, and vice versa. That's pretty good. And every lap was different for guys. So I know that was just one race, but I think that's pretty typical that what you do over there at Stewart and some of your other tracks, Mike. Tell us a couple other tracks locally that you've helped work on recently. We've heard some rumors.
I worked. Went up to work, helped Interstate Speedway up there with Alves, so help them get them track reshaped. Obviously, me and Trent, who's coming on next, we've worked together. I met him in Bristol 2 years ago. He had a house to stay in. I had my camper in Bristol in the middle of the whole thing for about a month, and that's when I met him. He stayed on my couch the whole time he was there. Became great friends, and we have done a lot of track prep together. I've came up and been to Spencer. Last year at Britt, I helped him a lot. Just try to help him with the shows up there when I could on Friday nights. And I've been to Alta a couple times. And Trent comes down to Stewart, helps me in Memphis, Missouri. So we rely on each other a little bit. When we need help, we're only a phone call away, and we call each other. He's more the mechanical type. So if I have something broke, I kind of call on Trent. But he's helped me put on my scoreboard. He's helped me do so many things. I'm very appreciative of it. And we work good together. We're someday I could see us co-promoting racetracks somewhere. We get along real well. We have the same ideas, and he's like my little kid because he is young enough to be my kid.
I'd bring him on here, but I'm not sure what he's doing over there. I can see him backstage, but I don't
He's
know.
probably changing a diaper for the 5th time in his life.
15th time in his life. Yeah. The other 10, we don't know whose kid it was.
Yeah.
A track you didn't even bring up, Rob. We're going to go there, and the reason we can go there is really because of Mike. Is the small track in Belleville.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I went there. Me and Joe Kaczynski went out and looked at it on a very, very rainy day. And I went back out and I got there and I was like, there's no way we can race on this thing. And we had a super late model race, an SLMR race, a US MTS race. And I reshaped that track in one full day. It was very muddy. I remember just pulling out clods of mud, and that thing raced exceptionally good on that little track. But I widened it out, reshaped it, and that little Belleville small track is what I call it, raced very, very well for the US MTS, the SLMR guys, and the super late models. So we put on 3 great races. If you saw that track 3 days before we started, you'd say there ain't no way. And it raced very, very well, but it is small.
Yeah, we're gonna let's before we bring Trent on here, I'll pull up your schedule here quick at the Stewart Speedway, so we can kind of look at that here quick. So we're kicking off at Stewart International. Looks like April 19th is what you're projecting after you get back from the Bristol area. So you got a Memorial race to kick it off there.
Yep.
April 19th, and then SLMR. I mean, you don't take no time off, and you're jumping right in with SLMR.
Yep, SLMR, and then of course we do our Dirt Crown race on the 30th. The first race we got, I'm doing something different this year. I'm doing one class for the season will be their dream race. So the very first race I think is the Sport Mod Dream Race.
Yep.
And I mean, if we get 50 cars, their payout is $10,000. So it's $200 entry fee. They get pit passes with it. They get grandstand passes, way worth more than they will be paying. They can sell them. They can use them themselves. And 100% of that money goes directly to the purse, which if we have a $10,000 purse, I posted on the internet, or they get $200 to start, and I think it was $2,000 or $3,000 to win. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it pays very, very well. And anytime you have a $10,000 purse with 50 cars, that's pretty impressive to give out $10,000 to the drivers.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome. I noticed that earlier on in the off season here, and you put that out there, and I think you're going to get a lot of traction from drivers. I'm sure you've probably already seen some of that with registrations already.
Yeah, Sport Mods should be really big at the beginning of the year. Stock cars are always good. And then we're doing the modified race, the last race of the season, Thursday before Super Nationals. So all these guys will be coming in town. You know, if we can get 40, 50, 60 modifieds, they're going to be racing for $12,000 purse, which that'd be good for them guys before they kick off the prelude and go on with their week.
Yep. So the 23rd, we mentioned SLMR. April 30th is when we head to town. Your Stock Car Spring Shootout Series, Dynamic Drivelines Dirt Duel, 2,000 to win and 200 to start there. First of a lot of big shows that we'll have over in that area, but that's the first one with you that we'll do that 2,000 and 200 there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go back to your weekly racing. May 10th, May 15th. A little bit something cool, and people probably don't know it in a lot of areas. The dirt trucks, those are something that's a really good class to watch normally, and you probably get a decent car count on those.
Yeah, they get about 10 or 12 in their group, so we usually get about 8 to 12 cars each time. But they're a group, and they enjoy doing. You know, they put on good shows. We got some, and the nice thing is we got older guys or retired guys that jump in there, or some of the younger guys. But you got Todd Cooney's raced it. It's stewarded quite a bit. Bill Davis Bill Davis Jr. So these guys, Jeff Johnson, these guys are old stock car guys, late model guys, whatever, and you know they race with the other people. So it makes it kind of interesting to see some people that don't race as much, like Jeff Johnson or Bill Davis Jr. They got in race. And now you got Todd Cooney, who's a World of Outlaw driver, so he comes to race the trucks too.
That's super cool. Then you go into another one of your big shows, the Whole Hog 50, 5,000 to win for the stock cars, May 28th and 29th.
Yep, that's been. I think this will be the third year, and that's where we just saw that race from the modifieds. We've had bad weather the last 2 years. Last year it was like 40-mile-an-hour winds to 50-mile-an-hour winds for both days straight. Just miserable wind for 2 days straight. We've had a chance of rain both times on the second day, which just hurts everything, crowd, planning how you're going to do the show and stuff like that. So I hope this year we get 2 beautiful days for Memorial Day weekend. And but we've had record car counts, just 174 cars, or I think it was, or we just had big car counts. It's an event with Van Eaton Group that's helped put that on, and they have done a great job of promoting it, round up sponsors, and just making it a fun event. And that's kind of what I like to do: fun events, and have a little race involved with it.
And that's so much what it is anymore. Is it's not just about the race; it's the event of what's happening. June 4th on a Sunday, you bring the Malvern Bank 360 sprint cars over there. That should be a great show with sprint cars. And then you have 10 days later your Stock Car Dream Race on June 14th over there. Going through here again, Midwest Madness Tour, the Ron Little Memorial. That's always a big race for you guys over there as well.
Yep. They broke the Stewart car count record 3 years ago. I think we broke the car count, and it was raining everywhere but Stewart. So it was ran north of town about 5-10 miles, and we had a record car count.
That's great.
That's awesome. July 2nd, you bring SLMR late models back out there. So that's a great race to watch over the Independence Day weekend. And then you talked about, ending out the season there right before Boone with your modified dream race, the Fever Heat season championship race. So that'll be something that's a really good schedule. A lot of good racing over there at the Stewart International Speedway.
Yeah, we've got a great season planned. Most of our shows, you can see there ain't many weekly type of shows. They're all kind of specials. So almost every single time you come to Stewart, you're going to see something special, or you get it on IMC TV or whatever however you watch it. But Stewart's one of the most watched races in the nation because it's during the week most of the time. Great view from the top of our VIP tower so people can watch it from a great view. You're going to see great action, and that's kind of what we try to produce. And I know we get messages from all 50 states of how great they look forward to watching Stewart on Wednesday nights.
That's awesome. That off night thing is something that is unique to you guys over there for sure. Let's bring on Trent here. Looks like he may be done changing that diaper finally, so we can add him in here. And again, we talk about two guys that really you guys do work a lot together, and it's Trent and Mike. You guys have some things that you work on together, and Mike was kind of elaborating on some of those. You got to unmute yourself though, Trent.
Yeah, that'll work.
There you go. I mean, so Trent Chin, you and Mike, you guys work a lot together, and we were talking earlier. Mike was talking about some of the track work and the different maintenance things you guys do together. Really a tandem group here with you guys over in Iowa. And a lot of tracks you guys cover for sure.
Yeah, we met a couple years ago, and pretty much ever since then we've been helping each other, and it works both ways, and we're always helping each other when it's needed, and just works good having two people on the same page about everything. So,
hey,
one argument in 2 years, Trent. Not one argument in 2 years. What's up with that?
Yeah, it is pretty impressive if you think of it that way. But I mean, we talk multiple times a day, and I mean about everything. So. So there's really good communication, and it just works really well. So,
just so everybody knows, all our viewers know, Trent, you don't just promote one racetrack. You keep yourself busy. You got a little one at home, but you got 3 racetracks weekly, right?
Yeah, last year was the first year. I've had Buena Vista Raceway and Clay County Fair Speedway since COVID 2020, and then last year I took on Britt. And I probably wouldn't have been able to do that one without Mike's help. So Mike helped out a lot there. He showed up. I think he showed up to every race. Maybe not. Might have missed one, but it was awesome to have him there. And Britt put on some good racing last year. So it was a really good year last year. And this year I think it's setting up to be the same. So.
Do you use any of those tracks together? Do you run shows together? Or just for anybody that's not familiar with the Northern Iowa area, how far apart are those racetracks?
So I'd say Spencer's in the middle of the two. Alta's about 45 minutes south, and then Britt's about an hour and a half straight east with Kossuth County Speedway right in the middle. But I really don't work them together that much. I do offer a pit pass incentive. If someone shows up to every race all year long, I'll give them a free pit pass until they miss a night. We had a few guys do it through about half the year. Then they missed a night, blew up or something. But that's really only working together we do. It's just Spencer and Alta race weekly or weeknights, so it's hard to get people to travel on weeknights that aren't local. So they really don't work together too much, but we do have some drivers that show up every once in a while at each track. So,
Great.
What about you and Dr. Dirt? You guys work together at some racetracks, don't you?
yeah. We almost every track we do, we've helped each other at them, I think. So I think there's one of Mike's I haven't been to, but everything from Bristol to tracks here in Iowa, we've worked together, Texas and all that. So it's been fun.
Is that why Mike was asking for some chin repellent?
Yeah, might have been.
Trent's
Oh,
a
that's
genius.
awesome.
Trent's a mechanical genius. So he
Well-
fixes everything I break. I break a lot of crap, as he'll tell you. And he looks at me
Yeah,
real
he does.
weird.
He breaks just about everything. Anything you can break, he'll break it.
There you go. So Trent, get over here.
That's what you call getting stuff done, right?
Mm-hmm.
What a pair. Well, the first time that we're going to work with both of you is April 29th. We're going to be in Spencer for the first night of the spring shootout, and for 2,000 to win, 200 to start.
We'll
And
be
then-
in Stewart the first night.
Oh, we're going to be, yep, my bad. We're going to be in Stewart on Sunday because Monday is typically Spencer night at Clay County Fairgrounds. And we're going to run a $2,000 show there too. So,
Yeah, they'll both be 2,000 to win shows, 200 to start, and they'll be ran the same on Sunday as they are as it will be Monday. So it'll be a good show. Be a quick of a show as we can get on Sunday, Monday. But we look forward to some of these Dirt Crown cars to show up and mix it up with our locals. So it'll be good.
And that is something that you and Mike both have. You guys have a stout field of regular cars at your shows.
Yeah, usually every night. Like in Spencer last year and the years prior, we've been like 1,000 to win all classes, and we bumped that down this year. It just wasn't feasible anymore. So we bumped it down, and we'll have a few less cars, but it'll be good. But yeah, there's always stiff competition at all these racetracks up here in Iowa, and it's always fun to go to the specials and see all these drivers compete with each other. So
Yeah, it is. It's going to be super cool. It's 4,000 up for that weekend, and probably Mike will bring the 57V over on Monday and take your money, Clint.
Not fast enough anymore. I don't know what's going on. My kid's going to pass me up this year, I'm afraid.
And that's something that's really. I mean, how many laps or how many years has Rowdy really been racing, Mike?
This will be his third year. He started when he was 14. He never raced anything in his life. Never even drove a car on the road. So his first thing was Stewart Speedway, practicing around the racetrack. And he's done good. So I think this year will be his breakout year. He had his first feature win last year at Stewart until the promoter threw a yellow, and he got beat on the last 2-3 laps. But I had to throw a yellow. I wanted to keep it going, but I didn't think those 3-4 cars piled up in turn 3 and 4 would work out very well. It looked like favoritism. So he had it first win. He had it, but it's all right. You know, he's hungry.
Yeah. That's good. Keep him hungry. Mike, we're going to let you go about your evening here. We appreciate your time with us here. If you want to stick around, you can, and give Trent some shit if you want to. But we're not gonna keep you any longer. I'm sure you got a busy schedule as you get ready to go to Bristol and all your other handful of racetracks you got to do this year. So thanks for your time, and
we'll see you April 30th.
We're excited. Enjoy Bristol, and see you in a few weeks.
All right, we'll see you April 30th.
thanks, Mike.
Yep.
So Mike Van Genderen jumping off there. Trent, you guys, like we talked about, you guys work so good together, and the things you do. You have a multitude of racetracks like we talked about, and we talked a little bit about Clay County. Before we jump too far here, let's look at some of the cool things you have going on at the Clay County Fairgrounds here. We'll bring up your schedule here if I can. Again, Ryan's absence here, so we have to deal with me trying to run a computer here. So
Is that the question of the week, Scott? Is that the question of the week? What happened? What the hell happened?
Ryan?
Where's Ryan? Yeah. So anybody, please put your guesses into where Ryan's at. We haven't seen him for a few weeks here. So
You know, it used to be who the hell is Michael Jeanette. Now it's where the hell is Ryan. So we'll get this up here. Here we go. Now we're cooking with some gasoline. So there's the schedule there for Clay County Fair, and like you said, there a lot of Mondays. That seems to be your thing over there, and you guys have a great car count over there, Trent.
Yeah, the Mondays, when COVID hit in 2020, we ran Sundays the year before. The track didn't do very well. So the fair board just decided to they gave us 6 nights. And then there was a couple people that had the idea of just doing, let's do 1,000 to win every night. And let's get the cars here. It worked really well in 2020. Car counts were phenomenal. Fan counts were awesome. There wasn't much to do outside. Or there was a lot to do outside, but all of the indoor stuff, you couldn't do that stuff for most of the year. And then 2021, it was good again. Just kind of made one step down from 2020. And then 2022, everything kind of plateaued back out. So we made a few changes with payouts and stuff this year, but we still have specials over half of our nights. We'll have every class will invert 3 or 4 times during the year with the IMCA invert. But every night will still have some sort of special. So that's what's nice about Spencer is anytime you come to the races, we're going to have a special for someone, at least one class, if not a couple. So I think it's a really competitive schedule. You can come race for some good money. I don't think many racers race to make money, but they can break even. I think they're happy. So.
Yeah. So you start off April 24th over there, Monday, for
We'll start a little earlier this year. Usually we wait until that May 1st start, but we think that we can get we did think a couple weeks ago we'd get an early one in, but we'll see what this weather does here over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll do that Clay County Frostbuster on April 24th. And then, the main thing is this year is we'll be 1,000 to win modifieds every night and at least 750 to win stock cars every night. Sport mods and hobbies will race for at least 500 every night, and then compacts will race for at least 200 every night. So it's still a really strong payout, and there's been a lot of positive feedback the last 2 days since the schedule's been posted with the payouts. So I think it'll be really good just to kick the season off on April 24th. So
yeah, and then we mentioned it here a little bit ago with Mike. That May 1st date, on Monday again, we'll head to town with the Stock Car Spring Shootout. The second day, as we're over there in Iowa with the Stock Car Crown Summer Series. So 2,000 to win, and again a 200 to start deal on May 1st over there.
Yeah, I think that 2-day show with Stewart and Clay County Fair Speedway is going to go over really well. It's something Mike and I have talked about a lot, and we hope we can share a few drivers both days and just put on a really good show for these DIRTCON drivers, give them a good track to race on, and show them what it's all about over here. So I think it'll be really good to introduce that East Series this year and kind of split it up and give our drivers over here some good incentive to race for, and still have the West guys over there. And I think it'll just be good. It'll be really good to get all these competitive stock cars together, and one of the most competitive classes I think that's in dirt track racing right now. So
you talk about the competitiveness there. We'll just throw up a video quick of the Clay County Fairgrounds, and it's a stock car race here, and it looks like they just took the green, and these guys will race this way, this formation, pretty much the whole race.
Yeah, usually the racing in Clay County it's usually pretty dang good. I don't ever want to talk too highly of it, but it does race really well. We figured it out the last couple of years, and we added a whole bunch of new clay last fall. So hopefully that worked in well over the winter, and we can put on some more great racing this year. But yeah, usually every class is 2, 3, 4 wide, and turns 3 and 4 is usually all the way down on the tires and all the way up to the wall. Wherever you want to race, you can put it wherever you want to. So
you're saying hopefully Mike came over and worked on your racetrack? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be plenty busy this spring, but if I ever need his help, we'll sure come up and help. And we're always there for each other on that stuff. So
that's awesome. Yeah, this is always a place on a Monday night. I find myself trying to find a race at Spencer just because, and I know there's a lot of racers from this area that all of a sudden they disappeared, and you're like, where'd they go? You see them with the truck and trailer, and Monday night they were going to Spencer.
Yep. Yeah, we've had just the amount of different cars we have that come race with us. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but it was the last 3-4 years. It's been crazy the amount of cars that have shown up to race, and just I mean, I think mods and stock cars. I think there's like 70 or 80 different cars every year. It's really good to see different guys try it out, and it's fun to see these national champions that race with us every week, state champions, regional champions. In every class, we have somebody that's competing with those IMCA national championships and track championships and all that with us. So it's just a competitive field every time you come here.
Scott, I mean, Trent should join our team. You can talk with the best of them. You have said everything that we believe in, like stock car racing and awesome tracks like you have there in Spencer. Those cars that were out there, I mean, I don't know every one of those stock cars, but I know enough of them to know that those are some of the best in the country. And when you're getting that every single time you have a race, I mean, Scott, we're pretty lucky that that Trent's agreed to let Spencer on our Dirt Crown schedule. I think it's going to be awesome. And just like he said, I think we're going to pull some West guys over there to race with them. And when you mix up the best competitors in the country, I mean, what more do you want? I mean, that looked like a Super Nationals field, some of those cars in there. Trent?
Yeah, usually just kind of right. I mean, everywhere has some really competitive race. I'm going to say IMCA racers, but I just feel like right here in Iowa, we got a whole bunch of them, and any given night, there's a bunch of them that can win, 5, 10 of them in the field, and it's all over Iowa here, and I mean even eastern Nebraska, and I mean pretty much the whole Dirt Crown region. There's competitive guys everywhere you look, and I think this Dirt Crown is just going to bring everybody together, and I think this year will be really good, and I think even here and beyond will be even better. So. And I know we didn't get a Dirt Crown race in Alta this year, but it's definitely something I think we try to push forward for 2024 is to get a race in Alta and whatnot. So
let's talk a little bit about your schedule again here. We stopped with May 1st, and
yep.
We bring in May 21st and May 22nd. And I know you and Rob have spent some time on the phone here recently, and looks like you got a Clay County Classic going on with the qualifying on a Sunday and 5,000 to win on a Monday.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good show. We had it 2 years ago, and it went over well. I think we had 45 stock cars, kind of a last-minute throw together. Last year, I think we had 64 or 67 stock cars for that show, and I think this year we'll get a few more. I think so. I'm not 100% set on what I'm going to do for qualifying on Sunday. I have on the schedule, we're going to do 2 heat races and a qualifying feature. And it will be passing points, but I might adjust that a little bit. We're still going to do some racing on Sunday, but we might format a little different so that these top point guys don't have to race as much on Sunday and kind of save their stuff for Monday. So,
well, Scott, I got to tell you, Trent's been great here. And this kind of came together. We've looked at that classic race for a while, and when you called and offered to put that on the Dirt Crown schedule, that's a big win for us too. And we're going to work really hard to get as many drivers in the East and to pull some West guys over there. Not many times do racers get a race for $5,000 to win.
Yeah,
and so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that Monday, May 1st, will be really good, but. I think adding that May 21st as a Dirt Crown race, I think that's going to help a lot too. So
2 big shows right there with the East Series. It's going to be awesome, and like you said, Rob, we're gonna come up with some crazy ways to make it better for some of the West guys that do want to come over there.
Yeah, I mean it's a 5,000 to win, 500 to start feature. So. I mean, there's racing throughout the whole field for everyone that makes that show. And last year's show was phenomenal, and I don't think we expect anything less this year. So I just think adding that Stock Car Crown Summer Series to the title is going to make it that much better and draw a few more big names. And then I think it'll kind of play in and see what we draw for cars this year on that 5,000 to win show, and then hopefully we can tag some more of those 5,000 to win shows in with it in the future years. So.
Take us through the rest of your schedule here, Trent.
Yeah,
as you work through the summer.
Yeah, I'll just take a quick run through it. June 5th would be our next race after that 5,000 to win show. That'll be one of our weekly nights. I think we are going to make that a hobby stock special that night. I just got some confirmation from some sponsors late last night. And then June 10th, we have an enduro. That'll be a really cool deal, 4,000 to win. And I think there's almost 30 entries for that. So Mike Vondrack and I are working together on that. We're going to do that in Spencer on the 10th. And then on the June 9th, the Friday or the day before, we'll do a 4,000 to win enduro in Britt. So that'll go over really well. And I'm really excited for that show. And then we have the Midwest Madness Tour on June 26th, which I think that's one of our best shows every year. I look forward to that. Just the competition that shows up for that is second to none. And it's just it's a good little 4 or 5 day tour every year. And then one of our probably proudest races we're a part of is that Salute to Veterans Tour. So we'll race the Salute to Veterans Tour in Spencer on July 26th. It's a Wednesday. And then that tour will go to Algona, Iowa on Thursday. And then Britt that Friday. Or Boone that Friday, my bad. And that's a really good tour that's gained a lot of momentum the last couple of years. And then August 7th, we'll have the Iowa Speed Week here in Spencer on Monday, the day before the Harris Clash. So we'll do 1,000 win modifieds that night, like every other night. And then we'll take about a month off, and we'll come back for the World's Greatest County Fair. The first night, September 12th, is a Tuesday. We'll run the American Sprint Car Series, 360 series that Terry Maddox runs, and they've been here the last 2 years, I believe, and have put on a great show every time. And I think I have the track prep figured out for those sprint cars and late models that night, so I think it'll be an even better show this year. And then we'll have Joe Kuziski's SLMR late models here that night. I think that's a really good addition. And then we'll have stock cars, and then we'll come back with our IMCA show on September 13th. So that'll be another really good show to kind of finish our season off for the racers, and usually in front of a really good grandstands. The Clay County Fair hosts like 300,000 people a year, so our grandstands are usually pretty good that night, and it's just a good environment to end the season. So
That's super cool. Rob, we can go to another fair over there.
I love fairs, Scott. Put you on the Ferris wheel or something. I love it.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about Clay County, but there's another racetrack you got too, and that's the Hancock County Speedway in Britt that will also be joining you June 16th for a 2,000 to win and 200 to start over on the E Series.
Yeah, so on June 16th, Rob and I talked, and we're going to add that as a Dirt Crown race. Talked about it a couple months ago. Haven't really done much more with it, but I think I'm going to do a memorial race with it for one of our racer family members. I think that'll make it good. But Friday, June 16th, 2,000 to win stock cars, 200 to start. So that's going to be the stock cars' biggest show there of the year. So I would expect some big names and probably put on a really good show. So that's one show that is really on my schedule in Britt this year that I'm really looking forward to.
That's going to be a great night. And Trent, let's throw in there that Ron over at Algona at Kaza, he's going to also do the same, a 2,000 to win, 200 to start the night before. And if I'm right, you guys are only 20 some miles apart. So a lot of racers could make a lot of money in a couple nights and not have to travel very far.
Yeah. They're going to be the day before, same payout, just 20 minutes away from each other. So should be two really good shows. Algona races really well when they have a bunch of big tire cars. So if we can get a bunch of stock cars there, that's going to be a great race. That track race is awesome with those the wide tires on there. You get enough of them on there, that track races really well. So, and then Britt on Friday night, I expect that to be just as good. So I think the racers that maybe haven't even been to Kossuth County Speedway or Hancock County Speedway, I definitely think they have something to look forward to.
Definitely something that I know I'm excited to go to Britt. I mean, a lot of great races that we've seen over there throughout the years, and another sport mod race here we're just checking out online quick. Yep. Tell us a little bit about Britt, gear ratio and things like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the drivers run the same gear pretty much in Spencer, Alta, or Spencer, Algona, and Britt. I try not to get too much into that stuff because I don't want to tell a racer wrong, but that Western Iowa Racing Results has a good gear chart put together, especially for all 5 classes. And then I think you guys had a driver that was putting a gear chart together for the stock cars. So I think those are 2 pretty reliable resources, but we'll make sure we get some gearing out there that all of our locals run, so you know where to start from, so you're not guessing right off the bat.
Yeah, that's cool. And this
but
is
yeah,
a racetrack again, top to bottom. We'll be able to see racing.
Yeah, it's usually races really well. Like last year, we did cash dashes in all of our classes. Almost every weekly night, gave the drivers some more money to run for, and all that racing was good. The racing at Britt was great last year. We got some different equipment over there last year for 1,000 and 10,000 stars, and we could produce some really good racing. And I think there's a little bit of new equipment that'll be coming this year that'll even help that a touch more. And Britt's Alta and Spencer are weeknight tracks, and then Britt's that Friday night. It's just a whole different environment. They're racing on because I've never had a Friday night track. I've only had Spencer and Alta on weeknights, but Britt on Friday night. It's just racing on a weekend's a different animal. It's a little more enjoyable because you can relax after the races, and you don't have to get back in the office the next morning, get right to work, and you can kind of hang out with everybody after the races, have a good time, and then you can just do it week after week on Friday and Saturday nights. That's why I love weekend racing now. I wasn't a huge fan of it before, but I really do like it now.
So
Pretty awesome.
the schedule you're still trying to put together for Hancock County.
Yeah,
Any
so the
highlights we need to put?
Yeah, the schedule's done. I'll just run through it here real quick. My designers haven't had a few health issues lately, so I'm not pushing her to get these done by any means. Another couple days isn't going to hurt nothing. But hopefully we have those out to everybody here. I was hoping by tomorrow. We'll see. But they'll definitely be out in the next couple of days. We'll get some nice flyers out. We'll start the season off there May 19th as their season opener. And then we'll go May 26th. June 2nd, June 9th will be that Midwest Enduro Championship that I was talking about with Mike Vonderak that he puts on. And I expect that to be a really good show. We won't run any IMCA on June 9th. We'll just do that Enduro. And then we'll come back Monday, June 12th will be our Sport Mod Nationals. So we'll have a 2,500 to win Sport Mod show on Monday, June 12th, which will go over really well. We'll have 1,000 to win mods and 750 to win stock cars that night also. And then Friday, June 16th, our Dirt Crown race, 2,000 to win, 200 to start stock cars. So I expect that to probably be our best field of stock cars of the year. And it's early in the year, so we should get plenty of guys. And then we'll go Friday, June 23rd. We'll have the mini mods with us that night. And then all of our weekly classes. June 30th, July 7th, July 14th, July 25th is a Tuesday. That'll be our fair race. We'll have 1,000 to win mods, 1,000 to win stock cars, and then we'll have sport mods, hobbies, and compacts that night. Last year, the fair race was packed. It was a great show. Grandstands were full. Pits were full. So it was a great night for our fair race this year. That was a Friday last year. It'll be a Tuesday this year just to kind of accommodate more of what the fair wanted to bring in with some bigger concerts on Friday night. But I still expect that Tuesday to go over well. Friday, August 4th. And then the biggest change we're going to have, and I really haven't told many people this, but I guess it's a good place to do it. We're going to move 1,000 and 10,000 stars to Wednesday, Friday. So the Iowa Speed Week will start in Spencer on Monday, go to Harris Clash Tuesday, go to Britt Wednesday, go to Algona Thursday, and then back to Britt on Friday. It's usually been Friday, Saturday. But the Saturday's really never been that good. So we're going to go to Wednesday, Friday with 1,000 and 10,000 stars. So Wednesday, August 9th, it'll be a little opposite. It's going to be night of 10,000 stars. Just for sponsor obligations and stuff where we had to line them up. And they've always been our 10,000 star sponsor. And then we'll race Friday, August 11th, be night of 1,000 stars. So both those shows will pay probably $3,000 to $5,000 each for the modifieds. And then stock car, sport mods, and hobbies will probably be running for $1,000 each. So those 2 nights will be good. And then we'll go August 18th, and then we'll finish out the season August 25th. So I'm really looking forward to Britt again this year. Go back to the weekly Friday night racing. Don't have very many Fridays off, so it'll be exciting.
Wow, that's a big week, Scott. We need to get out there. There's a couple big weeks that Trent talked about in there, but that Iowa Speed Weeks, we read about that for a long time, and involving a lot of great tracks. And we know who races those. They're the best drivers in the country that come for that. Not only Iowa guys, but there's a lot of guys that travel in for those races. So
yeah, so I think between Spencer, Britt, Alta, we try to get in on the big tours, the big series, and just try to put on good shows for the fans and give the drivers money to race for, and just put on a good show for everybody.
Pretty awesome.
Look at this. We got people even saying you put on a nice show at Brent.
That's
Tyler
good.
Beckler putting in.
That's good.
So that's good. I guess they do like you over there, Trent.
Britt was definitely a learning experience last year, but like I said, I enjoyed every minute of it. And without Mike's help, I probably would have been running with my head cut off twice as fast as I was anyways. So Mike's help there was awesome to have. I'm sure we'll do some trading this year and help him and he'll help me. And we'll just put on good shows for racers. That's all we both care about. So
we mentioned earlier, the Britt and the Spencer, but you have another track too, and we don't get to go there this year, but we can talk about it as well.
Yeah, I tried fitting in a race, a Dirt Crown race there, and I just couldn't this year. And like I said, I really hope we can next year. But Alto was actually the first contract I ever signed to promote. So it was Alto definitely has a special place in my heart. It's not quite a half mile. It's a 3/8 mile. It's long straightaways. The corners are tight, but they're over 105, 110 feet wide. Just nice progressive banking. The track races really well. The Madness Tour, we usually have like 120 cars, and usually it's slick top to bottom with a cushion up top. And it's just slide job city. The track is awesome. It's a little big, but it's just it has a special place in my heart, and I love the place. So all three tracks I do are definitely special to me. But Alta is very special, just being my first track. So, but I'll just run through that schedule real quick. We're going to start Wednesday, May 24th. We'll go Wednesday, May 30th, Wednesday, June 7th, Wednesday, June 14th, June 21st, and then we'll have the Madness Tour June 28th, and that'll be a good night. That's usually our biggest night of the year. Then we'll have July 19th. We'll have a couple weeks off in July. July is usually really hot. It's also the county fair, and it just doesn't work in the schedule to have a fair race there. But we'll take a couple nights off in July. We'll come back August 2nd, August 16th, and then we'll have season championship August 23rd. So I think just between all three tracks, three really exciting schedules. Definitely it's something to look forward to almost every night of the week. In all honesty, I think the only night I don't race between all three tracks is a Thursday. So my schedule is going to be all jumbled up all year, but it'll be good. I think I had 30 races get in last year between the three tracks. I think this year we're going to be pushing 40 without any rainouts. So it's going to be a busy year, but it'll be exciting, and I'm just really looking forward to it.
That's awesome. We're excited to be part of your schedules over there too, Trent, and can't thank you enough for letting us be part of it and all the work that you've done to help us out over in the Iowa area.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see where this Stock Car Crown Summer Series goes with the East and West Division, and I'm sure it's something that's going to keep on growing. And I think we're in for the long haul with it, so you can definitely count us in there.
That's great. Thanks so much, Trent, for everything you've done. Gosh, Scott, I can't wait. It's going to be a blast over there at Trent's Tracks this year.
Oh, it's going to be fun just to go to Iowa and the competition over there. Yeah, we got some good guys over here in Nebraska and some of the best, I would say. But let's take on Iowa and mix them and give the fans some really good shows because that's what they want and that's what they deserve.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I just think what the Dirt Crown's doing right now with Rob and Scott, it's good. I've heard many drivers up here in Spencer, Britt, and Alta that say, "Hey, I got a call from Rob with Dirt Crown, just checking in, seeing what the plans are for the year." So that's awesome to see. It's getting the drivers excited, and the those phone calls, I think, just mean a lot. So
That's awesome.
It's cool. It's cool to talk to everybody. Everybody's important. That's it. It takes everybody to make this work, Trent. You do a great job. Mike does a great job. The drivers are cool. Their families to let them drive. And all Scott and I do, we just want to be a little bit of a part of it here. Just, we're just kind of the conduit to help bring some of this stuff together. So It's pretty awesome.
Yep. I'd say if you didn't run any dirt crown races last year, you need to try it this year. Give it a shot. Good incentives every night, great payout. And it's going to be a really good environment at all these races. So
Awesome. Thank you, Trent. Thanks for your time, and we'll let you go change a diaper.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Trent Chin from Alta, Britt, and Spencer. Man, that guy's got a busy schedule for sure. Plus a baby at home. So again, we talk about it all the time, making sure that we all keep family time in mind. And so for him to be able to do that is something cool. So one more promoter yet here tonight, Rob. We can't forget about our friends on the West Tour either, but we still have Chuck Cockery. We don't know where Chuck Cockery is, and we still don't know where the hell Ryan's at.
Yeah, come on, Ryan. Hey, I think we're going to bring on a guy that knows Ryan pretty well, though, right?
Yeah, we'll bring on Delmer Pelster from the Boone County Raceway. Delmer works with Ryan all the time. I'm sure he gets to see him weekly almost over there. So
that's where Ryan's at. Delmer said he's in Las Vegas, and I think was that Ryan back there? Ryan and Delmer are down gambling. I bet that's where Ryan.
I haven't seen him yet, but he could be out here, I guess.
Delmer, thanks for joining us here tonight. And man, we're excited to not only get to go back, but just the growth of this race that we've done and all the hard work that you guys are doing at Boone County Raceway off season. Again, you guys are doing great things out there, and a group of you guys have really got together and dug in. And I can remember going to the Boone County Raceway when I was, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, and it's still one of those places that I get chills to go to because it's a really cool racetrack and just down to earth.
Yep.
Oh, Scott, I remember racing that back there 20 years ago. I took my mod up there for a couple years in a row, and it was just an awesome feeling. It's a ways up there for me, but gosh, the people are awesome. The grandstand is cool. And I remember going back was it 2 years ago, Delmer? I went up there on a winter night, and I hung out with you and your race committee. And every track does it different. You got great promoters. You got some that own tracks. Well, Delmer being a part of the race committee up there and communicating with the fair board. Are you also on the fair board, Delmer?
Nope, I'm not on the fair board, but you're right. We got a race committee, and there's 6 of us, I think, 6 or 7. But they're pretty important because they all play a big part in what we do. So they play a big role. Crone family, they do a huge amount for the racetrack. I mean, they do all the dirt work and stuff. I don't know what we'd do without Dennis and Scott and their family. So
that's something that's crazy with it up there. You can call at 3:00 in the afternoon. They're saying, "Yeah, we had a rain shower come through," and by the time it's hot laps, the racetrack is prime shape, ready to go. And most people have pulled the plug, and for whatever reason, the Crone family and their farm equipment, they've got that place figured out and can get it flipped around pretty quick.
Yep, they've been doing it long enough that Dennis knows. So.
Oh, you got a lot going on. No, this will be the second year that we get to join Tanner's Memorial Race. It was a great time to be with you last year, Delmer. The crowd was amazing. You had so many race cars in the pits. You were parking them out. You had the fair going on, and you were parking cars out there. I think there was kids. They jump off of a ride and then they go jump onto a race car. You had so many race cars there, Delmer. We can't tell you seriously how thankful we are to be a part of that with you guys. And you've got a lot of great things going on up there. So we're happy to be a part of that. And I still don't know who that guy is that won. I'm still trying to figure that out, Scott. But
who the hell is that guy?
That was a fast racetrack, man. People were getting around there all night.
It was, and them guys that come they're the best in the nation, if you ask me. So it's a good deal. I mean, you're right. We had a huge crowd the first 2 years. The car count was 155 last year. So I did take one class away so we can maybe get down a little sooner. We want to do a few more things with the stock cars and the hobby stock guys. Maybe a last chance race, maybe get them more involved with the fans and things like that.
And the fans, it's crazy if you watch this video here, as they come down the front straight, the camera pans out just enough. You can see the packed grandstands that you guys do have there. You mentioned it is during the fair, but they came out and they supported this race. The community supports it. The area supports it, and the racers are now supporting it as well.
Yep. It's the racing family is pretty huge when you have a loss like that, and the community, the sponsors we get for that is just awesome. We couldn't probably do the 5,111 to win, but the sponsors are great, and we're getting a lot of them again this year. So I don't know if it'll get any bigger on the top side, but I would like to add a little more to the bottom.
And that's important too, because there's one winner and he gets a big paycheck, but everybody puts on the show, and the guys at the bottom, they will come and appreciate, wherever the bottom does land as well.
Yep. Well, I got the payout pretty good. I think second place is 3,111 to win, or to get second.
Yeah.
It's a good payout. It's worth it for them guys to come, and we appreciate them all. I mean, and Michael Jeanette, where in the hell's he at? You said.
Yep.
He did a great job last year driving. He's a great person. So, and Jesse Saubing won it the first year. So, and our new shirt.
Go ahead.
Our new shirt actually got the winners on the back of them now. The Memorial Race shirts got the first two winners on the back of them, and they're for sale now too on the website. So
that's great.
Rob, you said you talked to Michael Jeanette, and he's kind of got a shrine built with his Tanner Pelster Memorial trophies.
So I guess the first year he wasn't even planning on coming to Boone, Iowa. Rained out, so him and his pit guy are driving home, and they said, they heard about this race in Nebraska, and they thought, should we just turn and go that way? They decided to do it, and he said it was a great experience, and he knew right then that he wanted to come back, and I think Michael Jeanette's not from Nebraska, but the feelings that he got and what he told me, what he felt from the fans and from the Pelster family, he said it's second to none to him. And I think one of his crew guys built him a nice place to put his Pelster trophies, his Dirt Crown trophies. He just really made it a really neat deal. And I think he's hooked forever. And I think he's probably your biggest spokesperson in Iowa about that race. He's not afraid of competition. And what a great guy. I agree. He's excited to come back. And I think he said he's going to be bringing a few more cars even this time too. So
that's awesome. Like to hear that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we talk a lot about the Tanner Pelster Memorial Race, but you guys have a pretty good season coming up here as well. We'll pull up your schedule here. April 23rd, something that not a lot of racetracks do anymore. You do a show and shine. That's kind of a cool deal.
Yep. We usually have a pretty good turnout. It's a Sunday afternoon. Our front stretch, if it don't get sunshine, so it's still got 2 inches of ice on it right now. So that all melts off here pretty quick, and doesn't sound like it sounds like a winter storm warning in Albion right now. So
yeah, I don't know. You're enjoying the fun of Vegas, and we're stuck back here in Nebraska. It was 60 today, but they're saying there's snow and all kinds of junk tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, it's been 65 here. It's been raining and windy, so it ain't been that great.
So you do your show and shine. You do opening night on April 28th. You do weekly racing. Mom's night. You let the moms in for free on May 12th. You come back on May 19th, and you're going to bring in something a little bit different that Boone County hasn't seen for a year or two.
Yep. We're going to have the SLMRs and the A-Mods. Everybody's pretty excited about the A-Mods coming. We also got the B mods and the Midwest Classics that night. So,
So
it ought
that'll
to
be that'll be a night where the Malvern Bank SLMR late models come in, and man, we're gonna hope we can pull a lot of modifieds together for that show on May 19th. That is a night where you've worked with some other racetracks, and that's actually an off night for them, right, Delmer?
Yep. I got a hold of Beatrice and asked them, when they weren't having the A mods, so we could maybe have them come down and do a special with them. So they're 1,000 to win, and I'll be honest with you, I can't remember what the B mods get. I mean, it's a better pay, but I don't remember what it is. So.
All right, and that's cool. You guys stepping out and a couple racetracks working together to allow you to bring in a little bit different show than what you typically have, but changing it up for your fans a little bit.
Yep, and that's one thing about Nebraska, and all the tracks seem to work together for the most part. So, and that helps us all out. So.
You guys do a Veterans Night on May 26th, and then Autograph Night. Autograph Night is always something that's huge. You guys pull the cars on the front stretch and put on a big deal and let the kids interact. Yep,
we have boards we give to the kids, and they can go to each driver and get an autograph. It's a good night. I mean, it's a good way to get the kids involved, and then the drivers like it too. So that was always one of Tanner's favorite nights.
That was, it is something that definitely it's living on. And some of his, I think what Tanner did those nights, it inspires others to do that night. So something pretty cool on June 2nd. June 9th, you do the Fireman Appreciation Night. So just, again, great things happening out there. June 30th sticks out to me, and I always, as a kid, remember Boone County Challenge nights, and it's awesome to see Boone County Challenge back again. Yep,
I need to go back to June 9th on the Fireman's Night. They're a nonprofit. I mean, they do that because we don't pay them anything. So, that's why we do the appreciation night for them, because that's so important to our racetrack. I mean, if we had to start paying a safety crew, I don't know if we'd be racing.
And a lot of your firemen there, is it just the local volunteer fire department that comes out then?
Yes, they're volunteer fire department. And so when we have this Fireman's Night, it's pretty important, that we make some money for them, and, they can keep doing it. And, without the fire department and the tow truck guys, we don't pay them anything either. So it's just important to have those kind of people on the team.
And you said it right there. You have a great team. Yeah, it's all about who you surround yourselves with. And Boone County is one of those places, like Michael Jeanette has said and others have said, it feels like home. It makes you feel welcome. It's a fun atmosphere. The fans, they flood the pits. That's one of the racetracks where they still let you come into the pits afterwards with your cars and those things. And it's a sight to see the people come in the pits after the races.
Yep. It's pretty cool. They like it. And usually on that Fireman's Night or whatever, we have a barbecue for them, and we let people come down in there and eat and donate, and it turns out pretty good. So
that's awesome. And so then we go back to the
now
Boone County Challenge Night.
Yep, we got the ASCS sprint cars. They're run by Terry Maddox. We have the late models and the Gatras. We also got some nice fireworks show. So it'll be
that ASCS show is going to be awesome up there. I bet, Delmer. Did you have them last year? Didn't you?
We did. We had them last year, and they put on a really good show. There was a couple laps to go, and I can't even remember who won it, but it was a good show. We worked the track in between. Took us about 15 minutes. They couldn't already believe what we did in 15 minutes to the track. So it was a good deal.
And that is, again, goes back to your team of the Crone family and their hard work on the racetrack.
Yep.
You guys are able to flip the racetrack to continue to put on a good show for the fans.
Yep.
So then we go July 9th, the Tanner Pelster Memorial. That's where we'll bring Stock Car Crown Summer Series up there. You run the hobby stocks this year, and then Midwest Classic Stock Cars are back. Eric and his group of the Classic Stock Cars is always something cool to see. I know I'm excited for that race, Rob. That's one that I've always circled. That's something that I think more and more people will support. The more and more it grows.
Yeah,
And it is great.
We appreciate you guys too, coming and helping us. You know, you're bringing cars to us too. So
That race is just something that, it'll be good. It'll be good for years to come, and great folks up there. So they'll keep it going for sure. And man, let's pack the stands again July 9th. July 14th, you give everybody a break again.
yeah, we can't race a week before and the week after the fair. So and fan appreciation night, if they save their ticket stub from Tanner's race, they'll get in free.
That's cool. That's something that's unique to bring the fans back that came on the 9th, to bring them back on the 21st. And you guys bring in the Mod Lights. Have you had Mod Lights up there before?
Yeah, we had them, I think, once last year, but we got them 3 nights this year, and they brought 10 or 12 cars, so they put on a good show for us last year, so we decided to have them a few more nights this year.
That's cool.
And I think they're on I think May 3rd, can't read my notes, June 9th and June 23rd.
Cool. You guys have a little bit of a unique deal you do. I think you're still doing it on Kids Night. Do you still do the airplane?
We used to do the airplane, but now we do Kenny Hinn from Petersburg. He's got a pumpkin chunker deal he brings up, and he shoots balls out, or he shoots T-shirts out, and yeah, we give away bikes and stuff like that, book bags for school, a lot of good things, and because we want to keep the kids involved, because that's what it's all about.
And that's the future of the sport is keeping the kids involved, and you guys don't try to race super early, and you take off about the time that kids start going back to school. So you finish up your season on August 4th with championship night, and bringing back some powder puffs again.
Yep. Yeah, we're bringing back the powder puff. That was a big hit last year, and there was a lot of ladies that had a good time, and we gave away crowns to the winners. So
That's great. I love tracks that do different things, and I remember the powder puffs back in the day. So it's cool to see somebody doing it still. So we need to get up and talk about that race, Scott. That's pretty cool. We'll make sure we promote that one. Let's get every racer's wife in Nebraska up there to do that one. That's pretty cool.
There was a lot of them last year. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
Racers couldn't race without the support of their wives and girlfriends and moms. And
absolutely right.
And so it's cool to see that. Now you guys have something a little bit different. It looks like September 17th. We haven't seen it up your way for a long time, and I don't know the last time we've seen one in Nebraska.
We had one. I drove in one that was clear back in probably the 80s or 90s, but it's been a while. We're going to have the Cornhusker 300 Enduro. Be 300 laps. Pays $4,000 to win. The rules are basically the same as the Lone Star 600. The rules and stuff are on our website. You got to be 16 to do it with a valid driver's license, but that's all in the rules if they wanted to check that out. I hope we get 100 cars.
Well, that's something, Trent was talking about. They have a couple Enduros that they're going to do over in Iowa. So earlier in the year, it would be cool if those guys, the rules fit together, and maybe we bring over some of the Iowa Enduro guys along with the local guys that want to try it. that Lone Star race, that's a huge race, and people travel from all over to do it. And maybe we can come up with some crazy awards for most creative and see if we can get school buses and sprint car wings and all kinds of fun stuff in those.
Oh yeah. Austin Bronner actually brought it to us, and as an idea, and as he brought it to the committee, and we thought it was a great idea. And so he's helping promote it. He's gonna find, help find some sponsors and stuff for it, and we will too. And it'll be pretty exciting.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
I think we're going to help you promote that too. That's awesome. It's cool to see the enduros coming back too. So I'm glad you're trying it. And I think if you haven't watched the Lone Star 3 or 600, you got to. And if you can do that here in Nebraska, I mean, Scott, we're going to help Delmer with that one, and let's help Trent with his up there too. So enduros are important. It gives everybody a chance. Maybe that's not a full-time racer, or has a car in the shed that they want to get out, or just wants to have a good time. Maybe it's the end of the year and they want to get their car a few more laps on their car and they got to change some stuff up. So I think an enduro is great, and that's why they used to have them. So it's cool to see it coming back too. So we're supporting you, Delmer.
No, we've had a lot of interest, and we've gotten some registrations already. So I think we're going to have a good turnout. I mean, I've gotten calls from Kansas and Iowa and Texas.
Awesome.
So I think we'll be good.
That's awesome. So I can always remember going up to Boone County Raceway, and Adolph was the announcer, and it was always the good evening, good people, and welcome to the fastest track in Northeast Nebraska. And I think that's still true. I mean, I'm excited for any time we get to go to Albion. So obviously we'll showcase July 9th, but a lot of great racing you have out there, and everybody can follow you guys on a website. You said what's the website they can find the rules at, Delmer?
It's BooneCountyRaceway.com.
And then you're obviously on Facebook as well.
Yep. I don't know if the rules are on Facebook, but they can definitely go to the website because the rules and the payout are there. And we did. I took the regular season payout and I added some to the bottom end to try and help draw some more cars too. So because we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, it's hard to get cars and fans to come. So
let's talk a little bit here. Your weekly race is late models, sport mods, stock cars, and hobby stocks. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
So a little bit different than some other racetracks, but definitely good car counts all around.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good the last couple of years. I know everything gets more expensive for the drivers, tires and all that stuff. So we're trying to do our part and help out a little bit. I know, it might not seem like a lot to some drivers but to some, they really appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Delmer. I can see that you guys really do care, and you're not afraid to try some different things, but you do care and you want to take care of your drivers. So if you haven't raced Boone County Raceway, you got to make sure you get up there to Albion. You might say that you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, however you said it, but really you're kind of the center of everywhere, especially in Nebraska. I mean, you got guys that come from out west, down south, and obviously northern Nebraska and southern South Dakota. I know you've had some racers. So I think you're in a good spot. Eastern Nebraska supports you big time too.
Yep. And I hated to see I-80 close, but we made, maybe draw a few cars that from David City on back our way or something like that. But it's never good when a track closes.
Right.
No, for sure. Well, Delmer, we appreciate your time here tonight. We know you're busy in Vegas and doing some work stuff. So we won't keep you any longer. We do appreciate you and everything you've done. If there's anything in between now and then we can help you with, make sure you let us know, and we'll definitely be in touch with you with some things we can try to help you with.
Okay, sounds good. I would like to mention my committee members though, just so everybody knows who they are. Is that all right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, most certainly. Yeah.
Okay. I got a couple of my daughters that help out, and they're awesome. Stacy Slaymaker and Nicole Bohr, and I got Shelly Lucan, Jeremy Graves, Tyler Starman, and Dennis Crone. That's pretty much the committee, and they do a great job. I just want to thank them for all they do.
And I think all the racers thank them as well. I mean, without them, you wouldn't have what you have at Boone County Raceway, and we wouldn't be able to come up there and have the races that we do, nor would ASCS and SLMR and, you know, everybody else that's coming up there. So we all thank them as well.
Yep, that's great, because they enjoy what they do.
Yeah, they put a lot of time in. So
They do. And they don't get much for it either.
no, they don't get much, but they really put a lot of heart and passion into it. So I'm glad you mentioned that. That was a great idea that you did that. So,
all right.
Awesome. Thank you, Delmer. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Appreciate
Delmer.
it.
You bet.
Yep.
Man, Rob, what a lineup of racetracks and promoters from top to bottom tonight. Just a great overall group of promoters.
We say this all the time, but aren't we seriously lucky? I mean, to be around those kind of people, not only are they great at promoting tracks and working on the track and promoting and getting racers to show up, they're just awesome people. I mean, I'm telling you, every track has got their own things that are special about them, but how Delmer just thanked his race committee. And when I remember going up a couple years and meeting with them, driving up there, we went out to supper. They looked at me pretty tough. They wanted to make sure that I wasn't feeding them a line of bull or anything like that, because they put a lot of energy into doing the right thing for their track. And I really believe in Albion, that racetrack is it's a community racetrack. Like he was talking about the kids, and I know tracks do different things, and so I'm not taking anything away from any other track, but it truly is a community atmosphere in Albion. You can see that when you go to the Memorial Race in July there. But every race is important. Everybody helps everybody out, and you're not going to find more passionate people about racing than you do up there. It's kind of a gem. It's kind of a hidden gem for the people that haven't been there. So we're pretty lucky.
It is. So we're wrapping up our 10th edition here of the Inside Line presented by Dirt Track Bank. Again, can't thank Jay enough. Can't thank Mike Van Genderen, Doctor of Dirt, and Trent Chin from, those guys, all their promotion stuff that they do, Delmer Pelster and the Boone County Raceway. Before we go here, let's jump into some Tailored Computers, quick time headlines. Weather. Man, I had a phone call today, and somebody blamed it on us, Rob. They said your guys' weather bug has now bit Beatrice. So, that's maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but Beatrice Speedway postpones the Spring Nationals. Maybe a makeup, maybe not a makeup. It's hard to say what's going to happen there.
They did the right thing. It's really the only decision to make right now. And I hope there is a date they can come up with. I've heard that they're working on it, and I believe they'll try as hard as they can to give the racer something. It might look a little different than usual, but that's all right. And everybody knows, and I don't know why anybody could ever get mad. They're trying to have a race before the racing season gets going everywhere else that pays a lot of money, that's very competitive. Some years it happens and some years it don't. But they try every year. So I don't think anybody should be upset about that.
No, and it gives us something all to shoot for and get excited for. So gets us in the racing mode for sure. Beatrice Speedway, we'll have to keep our eyes on what's happening down there for Spring Nationals before the seasons get kicked off. And something that Delmer mentioned a little bit about his racetrack and the safety stuff. Rob, we got a couple fire and rescue things going on. What you said, there's one this weekend, is that right?
I know, yes, there's one this weekend, and I know I just told you about that. But at Deschler in Thayer County, Nebraska, Thayer County Speedway, they're having Bobby Lincoln from US 30 Speedways coming down, and he's going to work with the fire department and their safety crew, and they have an excellent group of guys over there. They're going to have a training over there at the Ag Hall in the fairgrounds this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. It's open to everyone, fire personnel, safety, racetracks. I think they're going to have a rollover simulator. They're going to go through different kinds of race cars, what to do in different situations. So good group of guys to be around. So I think that's one option for everybody this Saturday in Deschler.
Yeah. So that's one. And that's a great thing. It's open for everybody. And Bobby has that roller simulator. I encourage all racetracks, whether it's, Concordia or it's the county fair in York, if you have safety personnel that's going to be bound motorsports to hit up that show or Four Corners Fire and Rescue at Eagle on March 25th at 11 a.m. They're going to do some training there too. Live fire, driver extractions, towing and recovery, anybody with the sprint car world, Dummer at Albion and Mike and those guys bringing in sprint cars this year. If your racetrack's not familiar with sprint cars, they are a different animal. It may be a thing to go to somebody who races sprint cars every week at Eagle Raceway and learn a little bit about, the proper ways to tow those cars or the things to look for in the event that they flip over or catch fire or things like that.
Yeah, I mean, safety is the most important thing. And anytime we can get people together, there's a lot of smart people that try real hard, volunteer their time, get them all in the same place. So that'll be a good one up there. Both of them will be good ones. I think everybody should take the opportunity to try to get to one of them.
Yeah, one, if not both of them. I mean, honestly, the more people that you can put in one room and put ideas together, maybe there's an idea that can come out of this Saturday in Denver that can be brought up to the fire and training at Eagle next Saturday. So definitely something all safety crews, racers, let's help spread the word on these because without the fire and safety crew, we're all at risk and we don't want that. And you don't want that and your family doesn't want that.
You're right.
So again, can't thank Taylor Computers enough for quick time headlines. Check out Dan Custom Rigs and Upgrades.
Hey, Scott, I got one more headline.
What's that?
I was thinking something that's going to happen south of me in Kansas. Something just got added. Did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah. I may have seen that on the schedule.
Something just came on the schedule for the Belleville High Banks. So we're going to be in Belleville with our Dirt Crown Stock Car Series on Monday, July 3rd. And some big news happened there. The Malvern Bank Sprint, the 360 Sprints now are going to be joining the Belleville High Banks on that Monday night. Drew down there and the fair guys down there, the race committee down there, they worked really hard to put things together. Joe Kaziski and the guys down in Belleville came together with a deal. They're going to have a 3,000 to win sprint car show on the half-mile track on Monday, July 3rd. I think it's 400 or more to start. So that's going to be a great race. Hey, there you go. We're ready. I'm sorry I stole your thunder, Scott.
The Firecracker 50 Malvern Bank 360 sprint cars return to the world's fastest half-mile dirt track Monday, July 3rd. Well, I mean, the sheer speed of the high banks of Belleville is going to be awesome. And then you put the stock cars and the sport mods on the small track. We talked to Mike earlier and his work there and the great folks at Belleville that have put in the hours and work, Drew and his crew down there. Man, we're excited. And to add the 360 sprint cars to that race, oh, man, that's going to be a great night.
I think you got the best of both worlds. You got the speed and the power on the big track. And I think, well, you're obviously going to have power from those stock cars, but it's going to take some finesse, fender to fender racing on that small track. And obviously the sport mods will put on a great show. There's a lot of great drivers in that class as well. So a holiday, I think everybody can, if they can get down to Belleville, I think it's going to be an awesome, awesome show. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, that's going to be super cool. So again, we can't thank everybody enough for joining us tonight. Can't thank Jay Burdick at Dirt Track Bank for his support and the inside line. Obviously, Mike Van Genderen, the Doctor of Dirt from Stewart International, getting ready to go to Bristol for taking some time out with us here from his busy schedule. Trent Chin getting away from diaper changing for a few minutes with us. Thank you, Trent, for your time. And I mean, Dummer Pelster's on a work trip in Vegas and taking some time out tonight. So again, thank you as well for Dummer taking the time out to join us tonight.
Scott, are we going to find Ryan?
I don't know. Nobody in the comments seems to know where Ryan's at. So I just hope the guy is doing all right. We know he's on diaper duty once in a while. So I don't know if he got stuck in the diaper muncher or what happened.
Yeah, we'll see him around. I'm sure he's around, and he's a big part of our team too. So I'm sure he'll be back on here in full energy probably in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we can't thank anybody enough that helps us out here. Back in another, well, we'll take next week off and we'll come back. Let's see here. What is the day? So we'll come back the 29th of March for the 11th episode of Inside Line and see what we can muster up there, and some great racing right after that, man. The 29th is just around the corner for some racing. So the itch is real, Rob. It's
real. If you need any help financially to get the year going, don't forget to call Jay at the Dirt Track Bank. He'll hook you up, I'm sure.
So again, thanks for coming out, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your week with us. Rob and I will jump out of here. If there's anything we can do to help you out, let us know. Again, can't thank you guys enough for joining us tonight. Have a good evening.
Sitting 4 rows back from the pole, as I put it in the wall, second lap of my heat, got a little loose coming out of 3. Got it all beat up and straightened out. The boys tell me